Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Welcome to more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. We're going to do the second of the two shorter scenarios on the Northeast Corridor today. That is the Keystone, a straightforward express passenger service between New York and Trenton. So the other half of the route, basically. We're going to be stopping at Newark and apparently nowhere else along the way. So just one stop en route, and we're going to be stopping at Trenton just like we did in the previous scenario. In the future, we'll do the 140-minute scenarios. I'm not sure what's happening in that 140 scenario. That has to have a long pause somewhere or very slow speed limits. So we'll see when the time comes for that. But that's going to be definitely a 2 or 3 part scenario, that one right there. Even 2 parts, 70 minutes each. That's long for a 2-part scenario. So we'll look at those in the future. I might just have to do the 140 as a sort of a route learning type of thing. We'll see. I'll figure out what I want to do. But in the meantime, the Keystone, the second of the AEM7 Amtrak 5 scenarios we're going to be playing. The Acela Express we'll do at a later time. We have to do that with the Northeast Corridor. And now that I do see we have those scenarios on both routes, I'm definitely going to have to do the Acela Express as a separate package along both routes. I'm not going to do all 6, of course, but I'm going to do these scenarios across the 2 routes. The time limits on these ones are actually reasonable, 50, 50, and 85 for the Acela Express. So that is definitely very nice scenario length, to say the very least. Let's go ahead and get started, however, for today on the Keystone scenario right now. Today you will be in charge of engine 945 and EMD AEM7 on Amtrak's 10:05 New York to Harrisburg Keystone service as far as Trenton, where the train will terminate due to a major incident in the Bristol area. The journey time is expected to be 45 minutes, making stops at Newark, Penn, and Trenton, and there are currently no delays. I've already opened the doors. And bringing the HUD up, let's make sure a brake is applied so we don't go anywhere yet. We have a green signal already, so we're clear to go as soon as the boarding is complete. That will not be an issue. We just have to wait for clearance to proceed. And there's another train coming in. You have now picked up passengers of New York Penn, and you may now proceed onwards to Trenton, calling it Newark and Trenton only. Copy that. So I can move up to 15 miles per hour immediately, and I'm going to quickly do that. So you don't normally get to go this way because we're used to going towards the Long Island Railroad side of the route. Just to remind you, where we are at New York Penn is right here. Long Island Railroad's over here. We don't even have Sunnyside Yard. Sunnyside Yard is missing here. So we're not going to be picking up any trains at Sunnyside to make the journey in this direction, which is unfortunate. Or maybe fortunate, because that thing is a pain to get through with speeds. So we're passing by Woodside Yard, which is at a higher elevation than we are right now. We're going into another set of tunnels here. I'll show you on the map where we are for Woodside Yard. There it is. That's New York Penn, Woodside Yard right there. There's nothing else in the path there, so we're good to go. We're still limited to 15, but we just got moved up to a 60. So I'm going to go ahead and start speeding up. Zooming in to show you the speeds. There indeed is a 60 with no other number indicated. So I'm going to take the speed up quickly. Our stop at Newark is in 10 minutes. We're going to have an uphill coming up, so I'm going to hold the speed where I am for right now. I'm actually going slightly downhill. The uphill will take us out of the tunnel. I think we're good now. I'm starting to apply a little bit of speed here because I want to hold into the uphill and possibly hit 60 before I get it on the uphill. I'm going to have to probably apply more power to hold it. Perfectly green, the signal. Looks like we don't, looks like this is an older style route because we just had a bounce between the gradients there on the train. .75 is coming up. We're on a 1.3% gradient leaving the tunnel. As we leave the tunnel, we're going to be making a sharp left, heading towards I can't say this. Secaucus Junction, or something along those lines. Secaucus Junction, that might be it. Secaucus. It takes practice trying to say it a couple times. I didn't do that before this because I thought the names were all going to be easy being we're in New York, but what do you know? By the way, fun fact for those who don't play Train Sim World, and if you don't, where are you? What are you playing? Just this? This route that we're doing right now is on Train Sim World. It was actually a fairly recent route last year on Train Sim World. So you actually can, as I go up to 75 now, you actually can play this route in Train Sim World all the way to Trenton. The path beyond to Philadelphia is not part of that route. It stops at Trenton, unfortunately. So what we're doing is basically the Train Sim Classic version of the Train Sim World route. So if you want to compare what the routes look like, here's your chance. Someday I will run Train Sim World on on that route. I have a feeling because there are a number of different types of trains, it's going to be there's going to be some loading issues, probably loading a bunch of different trains, so I'm a little nervous to run it right now on that game. There is another 60 coming up. We're going to keep an eye on that. By the way, notice we only got 300 points on that first stop. A perfect 1,000 point scenario is not possible in the normal setup, and I haven't changed the points to make it possible, so we're only getting 900 points today. This is Secaucus Junction. So we have a 60 coming up. Going to lower my speed now. That was a lot of brake a little early there, so I'm going to hold at 66, 65 for a moment. That will do. We just have a very short stint at 60 before we go 90, so I'm not too worried right now about the speed beyond 60. The 60, of course, is for this bridge, which we're going over right now. There you go. Gonna start to speed up for the 90 now. Now keep in mind, if you edit the scenario file, I mentioned that the 1000 is not possible on this, but if you go and edit the scenario file, extract the scenario from the root, from the main content folder into the scenarios folder, the main content EP file into the scenarios folder, and you will be able to edit the scenario file, and you'll be able to say, you know, 400 points per stop, give you a little bit of leeway for speeding. Now 1200 points are possible, you get your 1000 points. So you have, the tools are completely within our hands as to whether we want to get a perfect score or not. Most people don't care, so it's not worth it. But if you want it, you can do it. All you have to do is edit the note in the scenario properties file, change to 300 to 400, or even a 350, and you're good to go. 334 would be enough if you want to test yourself. We're being warned that we have to get down to a 45 up ahead at the next signal. It's actually 60 speed limit, but 45 is shown on the in-cab display, as you can see. Gonna get my tooltips to stop showing up there on the window. We have 3 minutes to make our stop, and we know that Trenton is coming up here. I slowed down way too early. You do have a 35 coming up as well. Now notice the speed limit up ahead now says 30. We're in a 90, but we have to go down to 30. Now we're in a 60. But again, the cab speed limit is telling us to go down to a 30. So I'm going to be going down to a 30. We have our caution up ahead. Another American flag. They're all over the place here. Who needs an advertising billboard where you can put an American flag up? That's what they represent. So now we're down. Actually, it says 45 on the signal. But let's see what happens here. Yeah, 45. I did not need to go down to 30. Well, I'm following the guidelines on the in-cab system, and they may not always be perfectly accurate. All I know is there's a 35 up ahead, so I'm going to deal with it. We might be taking the junction, actually. That might be the 30. We're not taking the junction. Okay, carrying along. We have another minute. We're good. We're okay. Looks like a 70 coming out of Newark. There's our junction, but it's a 45 on the junction. Getting beeped for the 45 again. And now we're allowed to go 60, but we obviously can't go 60 yet. We're going 35. Since we're down under 30 right now, that's actually ideal. So we are on time for our stop. We're going to go ahead and let the train continue along the platform a little bit. I turned my lights on, right? I'm just not sure. Oh, I didn't. Whoopsie. Well, that could get me fired. Arrival at Newark Penn, track number 3. You have now picked up passengers at Newark and will now call at Trenton only. Copy that. Gonna get ourselves up to 35 miles per hour to start out here. I already tried this once and noticed that there is some wheel slip in this area, so be very careful when applying speeds coming into the 70 speed limit. I actually hit some wheel slip on one run. So there's a track leaving from the left of us, heading straight up to cross our track. It will come down on the other side. Keep an eye out for that up ahead. I'm not 100% sure what that track is, but it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of speed, but I'm going to be very careful about applying speed here, because I know there is wheel slip somewhere in this area. We have lots of time anyway. I'm not worried about the time right now. We have a lot of stations to see. And I'm going to call them out as we go to see if we can continue to orient ourselves as the journey goes along. I think something like 17 stations on the route. We've already seen 3 of them. The first station should be North Elizabeth. We have a 110 coming up. Let's zoom in and just make sure that nothing untoward updates here. Somebody in that lane there. That's a stopper southbound. So yeah, it stopped at North Elizabeth. There you go. That's North Elizabeth. There's another track venturing off there. That might be a siding. So we are entering the high-speed line at this point. Actually, that might not have been North Elizabeth. That might have been Haynes. Let me check that. The stopper is moving now. Where are we? No, it was just stopped there. Maybe it wasn't a station. Maybe that is the old Haynes station. Yeah, I don't know. That might have been Haynes. This is North Elizabeth. There it is. I'll just show you on the map again. That is, actually, that's Newark Liberty. Newark Liberty Airport. Okay, I got mixed up. Newark Liberty Airport is the first station. I'm a little early on my station calls. So Newark Liberty Airport is that station. I was looking at the wrong part of my map. I had zoomed a little too far along on my map. So, North Elizabeth is coming up after this. We can now go 110, so we're going to go ahead and bring the train up to speed. We have a good 45 miles to go until we get to Trenton. We have a 55 coming up. We're going to slow it down immediately. We're down to 55 well in time. I was going to say it didn't happen, but there it is. So now we're limited to that until we get to 110 again. What is that sign over there? Big Apple. Noted. Big Apple. This would have to be North Elizabeth. Actually, that might have been regular Elizabeth Station. You know what? I'm really off on my calls today, guys. Yeah, that was Elizabeth. North Elizabeth was actually way up here somewhere. There it is. I'm way off on my calls today. I've now said 2 stations were North Elizabeth that were not actually North Elizabeth. Okay, keep an eye out for those platforms from now on. So Linden is going to be coming up now. Again, the trains in these scenarios, actually these ones have information. This is an AEM7 stopper. You can see it has a 10 before it. That means it was train number 10 that was set up for this scenario, which is basically just a numbering that you can assume the DTG uses, or at least that Star Designer in question uses, to make sure he knows which train is which. He or she. So we got up to 100 miles per hour here. We're going above that. First time so far since I started this route. I've not been paying full attention. This has just been a straight track, so I may have missed Linden. I don't think I've seen it yet, though. Who is that? That is a freight southbound. A03, freight southbound. This might be Linden. We can verify that in just a second by hitting the map. And actually that's Rahway. Yeah, I'm just not having a good day. We're heading all the way down here to Trenton. That was Rahway. Metropark should be coming up at some point in the next little bit here. I think that's the next station. We have a little bit of track curvature right before Metropark. So a slightly lower speed limit of 90 miles per hour coming up here. I'm going to maintain for right now because that's not a huge drop. We have no indication of anything adverse, so I'm just going to get down to 90 and call it a day there. And I did that. So I think this curvature suggests that Metropark is right after this. I expected a platform by now. Knowing my luck, I likely missed it again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed it by now. You're gonna be getting a lot of subtitle text on this scenario, guys. 110 coming up. That looks like it. This is a platform right here. Maybe this is Metro Center. No, that might be Metro Center. There's no other stations here. That might be Metro Center. It could have very well been Maruchin. I need to go down to 80. Oh my. Just in time. Just in time. Now that I have the opportunity to check, let's verify what that was. Yeah, see, I'm having a bad day, guys. Metuchin. I am missing the platforms. I'm not calling them out at all. That is totally on me. So we have lost a minute during all this on our ETA, but we have 3 to work with, so that's fine. So we're going to be on a straight section of track. This will eventually take us through Edison. Hopefully I see it. Meanwhile, we get to race another train. Getting promoted to 120 miles per hour up ahead. This does not guarantee we're going to see all the stations. This, I'm pretty sure, is Edison. We're now promoted to 120, but we're going to be getting cut to 110. So I'm going to limit myself appropriately to 110. We're going to be curving into New Brunswick Station coming up. There is New Brunswick Station. I've not been paying attention to my upcoming stations this time, so I might have missed one. I was looking next for Jersey Avenue. There's a track that's going to be curving away here. This could be that track right here. If I'm right, Jersey Avenue will be after the track curves away. Track on the right is the one I'm referring to, this one. We're still 21.5 miles from Trenton. .110 coming up, that might be slowing down for Jersey Avenue. It's a theory, but there goes that track. I saw it. So Jersey Avenue is within about a half a mile or so. Okay, maybe a little longer. Now we should have seen it by now. I might have missed it. No, I think that was another curve that came after Jersey Avenue that I just saw. There's another track's going to eventually be joining us. Unless I also have missed that too. Keep an eye out for a set of sidings, which is Adams Yard coming up on the left. That's a connecting track that might take us to it. Yeah, that might be it. That's Adams Yard, I believe. Let's take a closer look, actually, and verify that. No, that's something else. Okay, that's a different set of tracks. What was that? I have no idea. I'm going way faster than I give myself credit for right now. I lived near race stations for quite a while here. At some point there'll be a track going away and we're going to come to Princeton Junction. I'm going to peek ahead here and see where that is. If we look at these tracks all here, we're going to continue along to right here. There's a track curving away. That's Princeton Junction. So we're on a straight track heading right for Princeton Junction right now. And I've got a tooltip up. I don't want that. Let's pay attention, make sure we don't miss Princeton Junction here. At least I don't miss it. You might see it. I'm doing multiple things at once trying to commentate this, so I might miss it. Of course, these other trains getting in the way might impair my view of Princeton Junction when it comes up. Well, we won that race. And now the sun from the other train is in our cab. I've been watching, I still haven't seen Princeton Junction. Not having a good day as far as this station spotting goes, so I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. We're 11 and a half miles from Trenton. But 120 suggests that that could be where the station is, right before that. And looking right now, I see a siding and ending track just opened up there. being alerted to the change in speed limit to 120. We're now allowed to do that. Ah, here it is, Princeton Junction. So we got that one. The next station coming up will be Hamilton. After Hamilton will be Trenton. And this has been a nice casual high-speed drive. We haven't had any real issues along this part of the journey today. So we're just enjoying a high-speed drive. My only issue, which I'm not going to be airing, is the wheel slip incident that happened. I don't know how I got wheel slip, but I did, leaving Newark Penn. Aside from that, it's been a quiet journey. I think we're approaching Hamilton somewhere in this area here. I know we're getting a speed limit down to 80, and this is indeed Hamilton Station right here. I've started slowing down for the 80 speed limit as we start to approach Trenton. I'm going to need a massive break, I think. Okay, we got down to 80 in time. It did need an additional break. I was correct. I don't know of any more stations up to Trenton, so Trenton should be our next station and our stop. You can see it up ahead, so we're going to be getting slowed down at the upcoming signals. We're going to have a 30 speed limit entering Trenton, as we did the other way. The 65 at the end of the platform has nothing to do with us, so I'm going to ignore that. And the 80 after that. being told that we have to slow down for the next signal. Let's zoom in a little bit. It says 45, so I'm going to assume 45. Even if it is 60, I'm assuming 45. We have to be down to 30 anyway. So if we are going 45 by that signal, we have a problem. In fact, I have lots of time. Let's put that train down a little early. Are you kidding me? Okay, I had that on time. Come on. I thought it was a 45 by the signal. Apparently it was a 30 by the signal, but I thought instinctively get it down to 30 anyway, and I must have been off by a fraction of a millimeter. I should have had that. I am upset about that. Well, I'm going to have to come back to play it again to hack my 1,000 score in anyway if I want to do that, so it's not a big deal. Still a good score. It's just stupid that that's how I lost it. Stupid that I lost by 2 points. Let's get the whole train in. That's important. Now, 2 trains apparently making a stop here. I did not mean to stop yet. I did not mean to stop yet. And that will do now. As I get close enough to the signal to be able to breathe on it. We open the doors at Trenton right on time. Let's open the door. Let's look at our train, rather, as we finish this scenario. Blech. That left a sour taste in my mouth, that finish. Well, it happens. Nothing you can do about it. It happened to us on the New York-New Haven route as well, with it, too, as we entered the station, taking off. What can you do? Things like that happen. You wouldn't get written up over that because you were slow. I was slowing down. They would probably overlook the fact you were going 31.1 instead of calling it a 32, but, yeah. Not really a major infraction there. In any case, the scenario is done. A perfect score can't be done anyway, so it's not a big deal even if I did lose that 2 points. Even if I kept the 2 points, rather. It's not a big deal. The perfect score is not possible, so... Oh, someone is doing weird things on the other platform. I don't know what he is doing on the right. But in any case, you completed the scenario on time. Well done. Let's get to our scoring screen, and let's look at what we're doing next time. Well, at least talk about it, maybe. Yeah, what can you do? 31.1, counting as 32, speeding in a 30. Come on. Anyway, that's gonna happen. That's what happens sometimes. No one's perfect. Me especially. In any case, we're over 222,000 XP. Not that the XP really means anything, of course. But we are done 2 scenarios now on the Northeast Corridor. There are 2 more remaining, not counting the Amtrak Acela scenarios. And other than that, it's just workshop scenarios and any other kind of packages we can find if we want to come back to play this route again. I'm actually going to play a workshop scenario as my next scenario because these other 2 scenarios are too long. I don't want to try and do that really long one for this coming Tuesday. So I'm not going to kind of rush that one. I'm going to just do a workshop scenario. I'm not going to say which one yet because it's not installed right now. I don't know the name of it, first of all. But there is a special reason for this one, which we'll talk about later. You're going to see this video coming out this week. I'm not going to say what day yet because I want to make sure I have it done before I commit to something. Make sure I have it edited and done before I commit to something. And since I still have to install the scenario, I can't really say much. My hope is to have it out sooner rather than later, though. And there is a special reason for this scenario that I want to play this week. This scenario, when it does release, will be the scenario that will represent our Tuesday scenario, regardless of what day it comes out. I want to get it out for a specific day. In any case, I hope to see you for that. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I have that scenario posted, and you'll be able to follow along with me. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Make sure you like the video again. If you didn't already subscribe, do that as well. And I'll see you for that scenario next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.